But I just kind of want to go as like a goblin. Maybe more like Smeagol.
You should. You already have the height.
Hey. Smeagol's like hunched over. He's like really like, you know, it doesn't matter about your height. You just got to be like all hunched and, you know.
Well, that's the good thing. You don't even have to hunch. You just put a little like you just like put a little hunch like in your jacket and you just walk normal and people are going to think you're hunching.
Oh, this is so rude.
I'm sorry. You're very tall.
Yeah.
You're so tall. I'm sorry for being rude. You're so tall.
Editor, make me taller this episode than Matara. Make her small. Actually, you should be in chibi the whole time.
I'm not wearing the chibi outfit today, but next time. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mint and Matara Summer Special, Episode 4.
Woo, episode 4, spooky number.
The real Japan episode.
Yes, last week we had a bit of a diversion in our plans, but this is the real.
But it was a fun one.
This is the real.
It's the real deal.
The real deal.
For anybody who is listening, or maybe it's your first time here, hi, darling.
Yeah.
I am Matara Khan of Vishoujo. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Why are you gonna make fun of my voice like that? I'm trying to appeal to the new crowd. I'm Mint Phantom. I'm a ghost maid. Why are you laughing?
Booga, booga, booga. No, it's because earlier today, the reason I'm making fun of you now, it's because earlier today, when we were about to record, I told you, I'm gonna send this tweet to you.
Okay.
I told you, I'll be good in about 10 minutes for us to record. And you went, okay.
Yeah.
Then I said, I love you. And you went, okay.
What? No, I said.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah. You're like, okay. Then I said, oh, okay. I love you. You said, okay.
No. Maybe that was a Discord lag. I definitely remember. Okay, I don't think I said I love you back, but I definitely said go eat.
Okay, you're right. That actually is so much better. When you said, okay, go eat.
Yeah, you left before you heard the go eat. Yeah.
You should have said, you left before you heard the I love you.
Oh, it was there long after. I don't know. Isn't that like, you know, that's like a meme or something. I love you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This is how I respond to emotional relationships, you guys. Like, if someone says they love me, I say, okay.
Okay.
This is my emotional state. Anyway.
Anyway.
What'd you eat?
What did I eat? I had a little sandwich. I made a wrap with cheese and mortadella and lettuce.
And momo?
I don't talk about eating momo in public.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't have.
Momos, they have been being eaten at an alarming rate, and I don't know who's doing it. We have a predator among us.
I don't know who's eating the momo.
I don't know who it could be.
What does a momo taste like?
So good. Oh my God. Allegedly, not that I've tried.
Right. Of course you wouldn't know. Only one from what you've heard from that cereal eaterer.
Cereal momo devourer.
Devourer on the loose. Crazy.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, so good. So we have like a tiny momo, and they are pure muscle. So when you eat through them, it's very much kind of like a kind of the gamey meat. So it tastes a lot like a caribou would, or a deer, or a horse even.
That's
like it's more
very specific.
It's less tender. And then the big momo, that's more like wagyu, marbled steak. They're so fatty. It melts in your mouth.
Wow. Wait.
Allegedly.
I always thought, well, I don't know. I have this image in my head because, momo in Japanese means peach. So I'm like,
yeah,
they have like a peach flavor, but they're more meaty than peachy.
They're more meaty, but not that I've tried many different momos, but apparently some of them do taste different. Some of them do taste sweeter. Some of them taste meatier.
For those who don't know, momos are Matara's fans.
Yeah, they're my fans. I was having a momo in my arms last week. If you look at last week's episode, I was carrying the Wagyu momo. And sometimes on my streams, I'll have a little momo on my head. That's like the muscle momo.
Oh, yes. The muscle.
God, stop. I'm getting hungry again.
Okay, sorry.
What did you have? Did you eat anything for breakfast or lunch?
Not really. It's okay. I had
You can talk about the jelly.
No, I have not had jelly since I've gotten back home from Japan, which we can talk about because it's the Japan episode.
So what did you have for breakfast?
Mac and cheese.
Wow. This is just like Japan.
What do you mean?
Where you order, you got like potato salad at
What is wrong with potato
mac and cheese
salad?
and potato. They're great, but they're kind of the same caliber of food in my mind.
No, people were judging you when they were like, I saw comments that were just like, I don't know what Matara is on about. Potato salad is not.
Ordering potato salad at a sushi restaurant.
Okay, but wouldn't you also want to know what the potato salad is like at a sushi restaurant?
I want to know what the sushi is like at a sushi restaurant.
Okay, for everybody, it was sushi.
I remember you didn't like it.
It was a chain revolving sushi
It's
place.
very
You are not
cheap.
going
It's
to
not even that good.
No. You are not going to Sushido to savor the sushi. You're not like, let me partake in the oturo today. No, you are going there to get fries sometimes. Actually, I've never tried the fries, but you're going there to just get your revolving sushi. And
your revolving
potato salad.
Potato salad that I remember you didn't finish.
No, I didn't like it. It had something in it that like, I didn't like
apple?
The texture. No, it was like I don't know I don't remember what the texture was. I didn't like it though. It reminded me of the I don't like sushi, like I don't like roe, like the fish eggs.
Oh, fish eggs, yummy.
And I think they put that in it. I don't like the texture of it, so.
Oh, it was like tiny little fish eggs.
Yeah, I think so.
The small ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that's so up my alley. I should have tried some.
See, that's why you have to go out of your comfort zone and try the potato
Okay, I don't know if eating potato. Yeah, you're right. Let me really dive out of my comfort zone here.
Exactly.
Me, who got food poisoning from eating raw chicken liver to try it. Let me get out of my comfort zone to eat potato salad.
That is definitely, that's why I don't leave my comfort zone very much.
I am a little bit on like the wild scale of, you know.
Oh, we know.
I had fugu.
We'll talk about.
Yeah.
Well, how do we want to? Do we want to just start talking about foods that we've eaten? I mean, we have a list of stuff.
We have I think we could kind of stay with the list. Otherwise, we'll get a little bit sidetracked.
It's true.
And you know the best part? We actually started working on this last week when it was the Japan episode.
We had all this already written out. We were so prepared, you guys.
And we really are. We're prepared a week early.
Let's first, going off the list, how did you guys feel about the personality quiz? Did you guys like it? We saw some good comments. We saw people kind of being like, oh, from the moment I saw Mint taking the test, I knew she was the ABCD. I don't remember. I don't.
I knew she was ABCDE, just like me.
I don't know. What am I? I
think INFJ.
INFJ.
Uh-huh. We also posted our top 4. If you haven't taken a look at it, hashtag Matara Mondays. Basically what we did is I posted, for example, ENTP Matara, and then I posted the 4 characters.
Oh, yes. I posted just one.
I mean, it's Vaporeon, so.
I still don't understand how they were like, looked at Vaporeon and said, yep. I am BD, that one.
I am BD.
I don't remember what it is.
XYZ.
Yeah. Gotta go through the whole alphabet at this point.
Serious question. Let's say I ask you about the letter P.
P.
Do you start from the beginning or do you start from?
Wait, what do you mean?
Okay, let's say the letter H. How do you know how to get there?
A, B, C, D, E,
do you just know how to get
to
There we go. You just keep how did you get to R?
Oh,
when you were looking for H?
Oh no, I just went past it. I think I was thinking of P at first because you said P first.
Yeah. So you do say the whole alphabet, right?
Yeah. What
Me
do you
too.
do? Oh, yeah, you do. I don't think...
If I know that it's after LMNOP, then I'll start there.
Oh, true. I think you're an actual psychopath, though, if you don't sing the whole
What?
thing.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I rushed my reaction because my coffee kicked in. Yeah. I agree. I do mine in French. The same thing with months.
Oh,
I do
yes.
my months in French because I went to French school.
You do. Every time we're talking about planning something, you'll say the months in French.
I don't know. Like in English, I have to January, February.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is like...
Mars, avril, mai, juin, juillet. It's so hard.
This is like kindergarten with Matara. Oh my gosh.
You know, I learned my days of the
March.
week in English because of Pokemon Silver. Because you put a day and then the days of the week change with the days of the week.
What? That's
in the
so
real world.
Cute.
Uh-huh.
That's how you
Because
learn?
I didn't know them in English. Mm-hmm.
So you played the game in English?
Yeah. And then you, for example, you put, and I remember when I was much, much younger, I would say like Wednesday.
Oh, I used to say Wednesday. Well, actually, I still say Wednesday in my brain to know how to spell
when you're
it.
writing.
Yeah. Because otherwise it's stupid.
Okay, she's fighting today. She's feisty.
English
What
is-
happened to you? Why are
English
you
is
so
dumb.
feisty?
Why is it Wednesday when it's spelled Wednesday?
Oh, I have something for you. In French, the sound O, it can be spelled as O.
Oh.
It can be spelled as AU or EAU. Because, for example, you'll say chausson aux pommes, which is like apple, whatever, pie. It's AU. Un verre d'eau, a glass of water, is EAU. Un salaud, which is a bastard, is like AUD.
Ode. Ode? Is
Yeah,
that why
salode.
it's ode to joy?
I think, wasn't that in English?
Oh.
Ode? I thought that was in English. Ode
Wait.
to joy. Ode. Ode is like ODE. That's an English word.
There's also... Wait, hold on.
Or it's like,
I'm thinking of the other one. Isn't it also called...
can you spell it?
An
ode is a lyric poem in the form of an address to a particular subject. A poem meant to be sung. What is ode on English? Okay. Ode is a Greek word from ode, which has been but it's not a French word.
Oh,
It's not a French word.
well, today I learned that it's not French.
Idiot.
I'm dumb. I need to go back to French school. I took French for 3 years.
No. Allons-y, on peut parler en français pour aujourd'hui.
Oh, ouais. Je m'appelle Mint. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Oh, that's actually really, your accent's really good.
I know, c'est dégoûtant. Which means disgusting.
I know what dégoûtant means,
No, I'm
baby.
telling the audience.
Oh, sorry. I forget that like we're not just yapping at each other on Discord sometimes because it is the same.
It is the exact same. Yeah. It's-
I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget that you guys are watching.
I don't forget about you guys. I don't forget. Stares at the camera.
but-
I don't forget about you.
Stares at the camera. Wow, your accent's genuinely really good.
Oh, merci.
Merci beaucoup, Matara. J'apprécie. Avec un bugabé. Omelette du fromage.
Wait.
Oui, j'attends.
How do you say wait?
Attends.
Attends.
Ou you can say attendez s'il vous plaît, madame. Mademoiselle.
Attendez, s'il vous plaît, madame.
You could say mademoiselle. It's
Mademoiselle.
younger.
Stop. You're the
Yeah.
one who's telling me these things. And then you're like, no, you should say it this way. No, you should say it this way.
It's because nobody ever calls me. The worst part, okay, so sorry, a slight tangent, but madame in my head is like an old crone. So when people
it's
call
perfect
me
for you.
madame, I'm like, no, I'm not madame. But mademoiselle is like a young girl.
Mademoiselle. Oh,
So I'm like, no, please.
I feel like the candle from Beauty and the Beast right now. Mademoiselle.
What is his name? Oh, it's Chandelier, no?
I think
Because that's literally like chandelier.
I think you're right.
Chandelier, what is it called? Beauty and the Beast. And what is his name? Wait, Chandelier is a character.
Who?
Wait. Who is... I need to find his name.
Hold on.
Beauty and the Beast candle name. Lumière, which is light.
Yes, Lumière.
Lumière. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably people are like screaming right now, wishing that they could. They're gonna comment. It's Lumière.
It's Lumière. It's Lumière.
It's Lumière. And Clogsworth is the clock.
Clocksworth?
I think. Right?
With the G or with the C?
I think it's with a G, right?
I mean, it would make sense. Clock name.
Cogsworth?
Oh, Cogsworth because of the cogs.
Because of the cogs.
Yep.
I mixed up clock
cogs.
and cogs
Yeah.
together.
But Clocksworth also works really well.
It does. No.
I haven't seen that movie in God knows how long.
I went on the ride at Disney. And oh my God, I was getting so emotional. I was legitimately tearing up. I'm not a Disney adult, but there's like, okay, not to spoil for so many people, but like, okay, so the way the ride works is you're basically in a giant.
Wait, how can you spoil a ride?
Because, there's, okay, I say spoil.
Okay, so the roller coaster goes up, and then, guys,
not a
you're
roller
never
coaster,
gonna
though.
believe it. It goes down.
No, it's more thematic, like.
Oh,
and so,
okay. I thought you were out here being like, okay, crazy. You get into a ball and
you go up and then you turn and it's so wild.
And then when you least expect it, you turn to the left and then you go back.
You don't understand. Okay, I'm very passionate about like theme park rides. So like typically I don't like to be spoiled on things. But so I went in with no spoilers to the beauty, and this is in Tokyo Disney. And I went in and like, so, okay, you haven't seen the movie in a while, but you know how at the end...
Spoiler alert, by the way.
You know how at the end they have like the big ballroom scene and they're all dancing and it's cute. Yes. And a tale as old as time.
This time.
Yeah. And so like the way, okay, so you're in this giant like saucer cup, like a cup on a saucer.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing, the cup kind of tilts and moves. And so you go 4 little cups at a time. And like when you go to that scene, the Beauty and the Beast are like dancing in the middle, and then they like the cups all bow at each other, so you're like bowing to like dance, and they dance with the cups, and it's so cute. And like you're in the ballroom, and like there's all the little characters around, and they're all singing "Tale as Old as Time," and I'm just like,
wait, in Japan they were singing it in Japanese, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so it was, but okay. I think it was half Japanese, half English, from what I remember.
And
I was like, this is so beautiful and like so sweet because I'm like dancing around in a little cup and I feel so small. And it's so...
And then you guys are never going to believe it. The roller coaster comes up and then you go all the way down in the cup and it rattles you around.
The cup breaks and shatters and launches you into the air.
And then Lumiere comes out with a sword and then you have to duel him.
Okay, but there is one really crazy like scene in the ride. Do you want to see? Can I send you a video?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to look it up. Beauty and the Beast.
Man, now I want to go.
It's actually...
And then when I'm on the ride with you, I'll be like, by the way, you spoiled this part of the podcast. I did not enjoy the ride as much as I could have because now I know.
I'm ruining it. Actually, I'm probably ruining the best part right now.
Oh, really?
It's really cool. It's really cool. Okay, hold on. Oh. All right, I'm sending you this.
Okay, I'm ready.
I don't know how they do this.
Is it legal to record?
Yes. Yeah, you can record on rides and stuff.
Is that why the recording looks like too...
I think, honestly, they just had a really bad camera. Like maybe their phone.
Wow, that actually does look really cool.
It's
kind of looks like a chrysalis.
It's so awesome. Wait, just wait.
Oh wait, what?
I know.
Whoa!
I don't know how they do it because
Jesus, is that you? Oh no, sorry. It's
the beast.
it's the beast. Okay, I think I know how they do it. It's a hologram.
Yes. Okay,
And then that's why the hologram does that.
but the beast on the ground is a animatronic, and then he lifts up in the sky and spins around, and then the
So
other
he is Jesus.
animatronic comes out. Sorry.
Wow, that looks great. He's animatronic. That looks great. I really want to go to Tokyo Disney. I still haven't been, and I've been to Tokyo. Well, it's not in Tokyo, right? I think it's like in Osaka.
No, it's in Tokyo. That's why it's called Tokyo
really?
Disney. Why would it be in Osaka?
Oh my God. You know, one thing I'm genuinely really worried about. Well, it's not a genuine worry, but it's a little bit of a concern that people will realize just how dumb we are sometimes.
I think people have realized that about me a long time ago.
Did you say about me or about me? About you or about me?
I said me, so why would that be referring
Okay.
to you?
I didn't hear because I was laughing and I was like, wait, were you insulting me or yourself?
Oh, me, but also, I mean, you too.
If listen, Matara, if the shoe fits, wear
exactly. You're the one who questioned it. So
it. What's the thing in Osaka that
you're
everybody...
thinking of
Universal?
Universal, yeah. There's a lot of really great theme parks, though. Oh my gosh.
I have okay. My problem, I've been to Disney as only once as an adult. I've never been before as a kid because that's crazy amounts of money when, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine that? In our immigrant family, But actually, this is I'll try to keep the story short. Well, why do I have to do this? No, we're on the podcast, making the story long.
Okay.
I went on Twitch Television's dime. So many years ago, the woman whose body I live inside, she got, her and a bunch of other creators went to Disney in Los Angeles, and Twitch paid. And it was great because, I was like, I want to try this pickle. And then Twitch bought it for me. And then
Pickle?
other stuff. Good times. They have those giant pickles that are like $10. Yeah, the food was crazy. But actually, there later, I will say this, later on, a big creator came and they've been a really big streamer for a long time. And they just were a streamer. But it was really weird because they were like, while we were in line waiting for some of the amusement park stuff, they would just lie down on the floor.
What?
In the middle of everybody.
What?
At one point we were waiting in line and they would hit their head on the lamp post.
Huh? What do you mean?
And they were a full adult.
What?
Yeah.
Like laying on
I'm
the
not
ground
kidding.
of the park
Yeah.
where people step and
Yeah. While they were stretching. Anyway, so sometimes streamers in public do streamer things. Just if anybody ever envies streamers a little bit, just remember some people do that.
I'm
anyway,
horrified right now.
No, I'm telling you. So anyway, that's not the part of the story that I wanted to say. The part of the story I wanted to say was I thought it was an amusement park. So I came in ready for, the dopamine, ready. And it was it's baby rides.
It is, yeah. Disney is very baby rides.
Baby rides. Don't get me wrong. The view was awesome. The free food was awesome. Overpriced, but it was free. I do really think it's kind of like Vegas where you just go around, you look at stuff, it looks great. But it's baby rides.
Yeah. So you're a big...
Where's my adrenaline?
You're a big ride enjoyer. Okay, we got to go to Fuji Q then.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
I love
Climb
that
Mount
little
Fuji.
pit in your stomach. Oh, when you're dropping and it just, oh my God.
Oh my God, you're going to
It's the closest I get to death.
You're going to... Well, I mean, having been there, it's kind of overrated. But anyway, yeah.
Is there oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I interrupted you.
I was just going to say you're going to love Fuji Q because their rides are... They had to close down one ride because people were breaking their backs on it.
Whoa, that's a little too hardcore for me.
No, but their other rides are like so fun. They're so crazy. They're super fun. There's a little Naruto
Is there
village.
a ride you won't go on?
Yes, but I'm trying to think because typically I'll go on any.
It can be anywhere, not even at Fuji-Q, just
No,
anywhere.
yeah, no, because I have seen things where I'm just like, no, I'm not riding that. Usually it's like fair rides because fairs, like, at least in the US, they like pack up their rides and like travel.
Oh yeah, they just like build the fare from there every time. Yeah. It's not the same as rides that are there all year round.
But typically there's not a ride that I won't go on.
There's a ride where it's like they put you in a ball and then they throw you in the air. I think that's a little too much adrenaline.
I've never seen that before.
Oh my God, I have to show you. There's videos sometimes of people passing out fully. Yeah. So you've seen it. You know what I'm talking about.
I was just about to say, have you seen the videos of people like passing out on those
they go on this ball. They get like people passing out on ball roller coaster.
So it's the ball ride. That's what
it's the ball ride.
I don't think it's like a roller coaster.
I think it's called a slingshot.
Yeah. They sling you. They fly.
Sorry, to me, a roller coaster is like any kind of thing. But I get it. Roller coasters, I'll go on any roller coaster.
Yeah, me too.
But any of those, I avoid the slingshot that slings you up.
There are a few roller coasters I won't go on just because when I say, like, remember how I said I'm very enthusiastic about rides? I am extremely, like, I watch YouTube channels and videos about like different theme park rides and stuff like that. I watch
my God.
I am super into amusement parks. I love theme parks. I love roller coasters and rides and stuff. Like, it's kind of my niche. But so like if I see like a ride that's like, you know, has a bad review, like there are certain roller coasters where like they say if you ride it, like your head will like go back and forth, like bum 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 bum.
Yeah,
things like that. Like those kinds of rides, I'll like kind of look
I'll avoid too.
Yeah, I'll look into like what rides they have at the park beforehand, and then decide if I'm like, because usually I'll be like, yeah, roller coaster, let's go. But if I'm like, oh no, hell no.
I think when I was a little bit younger, I did a lot more of like even if they would make my head hurt, it wouldn't bother me. Now that I've gotten older, I think my favorite, I already know my favorite. My favorite, I want like every single amusement park has it. It's your basic, I guess in French, they're called les montagnes russes, which is like the Russian mountains.
Okay.
I don't know why they're called that way, but it's just your typical wooden roller coaster. You're in a cart. You're not like flinging around. You go up, you go down. You go up, you know that one? Now, every time I'm at yes, I love that. My second favorite, or I guess now it's my top favorite, it's usually like a pirate boat or a big boat or a swing. So everybody sits on each side and then they just like swing. It's because it's basically that same feeling of you go up, you go down. So
but
it's nonstop.
You like the tummy feel, the feeling of
I love the tummy feel.
The tummy drop.
Yeah, I love it. So those I do and another, I guess like my top three, my third one is like anything with water. Like, you know, sometimes you go to those water parks where you just kind of lie in a little like donut and you're kind of on the water and it's chill and you're like, woohoo, woohoo. I love those. In a bikini.
Oh, wow.
What about you?
Okay, my top favorite ride is a roller coaster with a theme. So like...
you really are a sucker for themes.
I love themes. Like at Tokyo Disneyland, there's Journey to the Center of the Earth, which is like it has one drop. Like it's hard to be classified as a roller coaster. Like, oh no, it's still pretty much a roller coaster. But like you get to see all like the little buggies and animatronic critters, and they're like, and then there's like this big monster that comes out and is like, rah, and then the ride gets really fast, and you do the drop, and it's really fun. I love it. And then also I'm going to count the Indiana Jones ride too, even though it's not quite a roller coaster. But I think it's on a track.
Because it's like a theme. So you just, you're going on and it's do, 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 do.
And then there's like at Universal in Florida, there's the Hagrid ride is so much fun. It is.
What is it like? Explain
it. It's
it.
also a roller coaster, but it's themed. So like you get to see Hagrid and he's like, here's my, I don't know Harry Potter, so I don't know what the buckbeak. He's like, here's my bird, and then
the griffin.
Like, the griffin, and then it drops like a straight drop, like not even like on a track. It just drops you midair onto another track, and then you keep going, and like it was so fast. I had tears rolling down my eyes or down my face because it was like the wind was just like. And it was so fun, and I'm just like, I like things that are like, you know, fast and exciting, but also have like silly animatronics that can be like, hey, it's you.
I like that you really are into the themes.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Another thing I know we mentioned before, fairs and carnivals. I've never been to like one of those like actually no wait, I'm lying. I've been to Coney Island and Staten Island, which had like the fair.
Oh yes.
That was the only time. But I really like those. Like not so much to ride the big rides, but just for the like it feels very Americana.
Oh yes, it is.
That kind of fair where you get for the editors, if you could put some of the food up on there, there's like a little like
funnel
strudel
cakes
thing that you get. Funnel cakes, that's the thing I was thinking about. Yeah.
Funnel cake.
It's just so there's also like the what is it? The in French Canada they were called pogos, but it's just a corn dog.
Oh yeah, corn dog, like,
yeah. Oh, hot dogs, everything.
Yeah, it's like very, very American core.
yeah, exactly.
But,
oh my goodness.
And then I will ride some of the rides there, but not a lot.
But I agree with you. I'd avoid some of the bigger ones just because you don't know how well they're.
Oh my God, there's so many videos of people like bolts coming out or like not properly. Oh, it's so scary.
Another thing about that, there's one ride that I don't really do anymore because I feel like sometimes when you're a kid, you kind of don't understand. Like you're just there for the excitement.
Yeah, of course.
But now that I'm much older, I kind of handpick my excitement.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that a lot of roller coasters that spin your head, like you get in and then you just kind of spin and then you spin again and then you spin again. You know what I mean? Like you'll.
Like it's just a ride, right? It's not a roller coaster.
It's just a ride. Like let's say you get into a ride, you sit down with a bunch of people, and then it spins you guys. Like just
not like the teacups,
and then it spins you guys again.
Like
no. I mean, like your head. How do I say? Oh my goodness, am I losing my English? Like your feet go above your head, and then you're
what?
Okay, wait.
What kind of fairs are you guys?
I remember when I lived in like a French Canadian city, there was this amusement park called La Ronde, which is the round. Let me just find you the right. I guess it's Six Flags. Let me find.
I have no idea.
Okay, imagine a bus, right? Imagine like a bus or like everybody sitting on like these seats.
Okay.
And then the seats flip over so that you're flipped upside down.
What? And then it spins
You've never
you?
seen those before? No. And then it just keeps flipping you upside down and you're like, I'm done. Or you like all go into this big room and then the room just spins. Like it just spins you to the left, to the right. And then you come out of there and your head is killing you.
What you're talking about.
Are you kidding me? Okay.
There's like
Let me try to
fair
find
ride
these.
that I'm thinking of that like is a ride that spins really fast and it makes you stick against the wall. But like...
Yeah, and that hurts. Hurts.
I can't think of anything else. It's like a zero gravity type ride. Like you're spinning so fast.
But those rides, now that I'm older, I avoid anything that like, even the teacups are fine, but sometimes the teacups, like if you do it too, okay, it's also, I'm kind of insane with it. Like
me too.
I will do the same ride like 6 times in a row. There's no lineup.
Yeah, me too.
But, let me show you. So this one, I'll have to send it to the editor after. This was like one of my favorite rides when I was much younger. It's just pirate boat. You sit down and then it just goes.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I love it.
They're so fun. Just the swingy type of rides. Do you like free falling rides? Like the ones that just drop you from a high. Yeah.
Yep. I just don't like when it's like the slingshot I told you, right? Where it's like you go up and then you go down and then you go up and down again. I don't like that.
But
I don't want to do it. I've never tried it. Maybe I'll love it, but I just
I'm gonna get a picture. If it's like a tower, like
oh yeah, I've done those a few times. I don't mind the tower.
Yeah.
I don't mind the tower.
Like the
I don't think I can. I wonder if they took out this amusement ride because it was.
It sounds like it sucked.
Okay, so like look at this ride, right? Look at this ride, for example. you see it, but it would like spin.
Oh.
So you'd always be spinning.
I do know what you're talking about.
And I feel like even you go one time, your head really hurts after. I don't like that.
Yeah, those ones aren't super fun. I'm like you, where
Dr. Doom.
I like the what's the word? The feeling in your stomach. I enjoy that.
Yeah, the tummy feeling of like you're going down. I love that.
Actually, there is a type of ride that I won't do anymore, which makes me really.
Which one?
It is those 4D rides or 3D rides where you sit in a room and you don't move, and it's just like you watch a 3D movie and you move a little bit, and oh my god, they make me so sick now. Like they made me sick.
Is it because of like the vertigo of it or the glasses?
I think
what makes you sick?
I think it's well, okay, for example, the last one I went on was was one at Disney, Tokyo Disney with it was a Star Wars one, and I think it's the lack of air, like the lack of wind blowing on my face. So you're moving super fast, but because I don't feel like the wind blowing on me, I don't. It just I don't know. It's very just, and I used to get sick as a kid too with it a little bit, but it's so much worse now that
I have a trick for not getting sick at an amusement park.
What's that?
Starve yourself. Listen, kids. This is my like bad advice podcast. Just don't eat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I get migraines if I don't eat though.
Well,
I gotta pick my battles.
Pick a struggle. No. Usually, I guess what I would do if I was at an amusement park, I would eat in the middle of the day. And then I would probably not ride a roller coaster for another hour minimum.
You know what?
I would try to walk a lot, like go for a long walk, ride like a little chill one.
I don't know. I'm maybe not the exact opposite, but I can eat a meal and then go on a roller coaster, no problem.
No.
Yeah.
You're insane. You're actually okay. We have to go when we're in Japan.
Yes.
Now we're gonna add the roller coaster to our Japan thing.
Yes.
Last thing I want to talk about before we
actually get into
we get into the main episode, meat of the episode. There is this place. I remember I linked it to you ages ago called Medieval Times.
Oh yes, we talked about it not too long ago.
When we're in LA, we have to go. We've already like it is unavoidable.
Yes.
We are going to Medieval Times. I want to see people fight on horseback.
Have you ever been to a Renaissance fair?
We talked about that too.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. We talked about that in private though, not because that's I haven't, and I would love to go to one this summer. If we're traveling and we see one nearby, we have to go.
They're usually in like summer, they're usually in spring or fall. So yeah, we're summer podcast, Matara. We messed up. We messed up.
It's okay. It's okay. We can, if we find some, I'd love to go. But the thing is, I've been to, I used to live in this city when I was much, much, much younger. And there, sometimes when you'd like be out in a park on Saturday or Sunday, people would LARP.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved it. I loved watching it. It was super fun. Like Eastern Canada has a lot of live action. For anybody wondering, LARPing is like when they would actually like dress up as like wizards or knights, and they would like have these like play fights in the park. I did it once. But like full grown adults. Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How was your outfit?
Well, no, I actually went with a friend to their LARPing session because I had never gone before.
How did it go?
It was fun. I was very confused though because, okay, so when you're attacking and stuff, like depending on what your weapon is and everything, you have to yell out how much damage you're doing. So it would be like +1, +1, +1, +1 while they're like pelting me with like rocks or something, you know? Like,
yeah.
And I was kind of like, I was like, I didn't really have a character, so I was like, and I'm a weeb. I haven't really delved into like D&D or anything. Like I've done D&D like 2 times before, so it was like I was like, and so eventually they were just like, okay, you know what? You can just be like the princess locked in the tower, and we'll just. And it was like in the road of their neighborhood, so like. I was like standing in the middle of the road, like off to the side, just pretending I'm locked in a tower. And I'm just like sitting there. I was just like, you know what, this is fine. And I don't know what's going on. My friend is like really into it, and she's just like casting spells and like throwing. They had like They would have like blue for healing and red for attacks, and they would throw these like sacks at people. And I'm just like,
for a second, I was like, blue can't be healing. Blue's mana.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
It sounds like fun though.
Yeah.
It sounds like a good experience. If
It was
anybody
fun.
here has been to a medieval times or a Renaissance fair, let us know. I'm also curious what outfits you guys had.
Oh my gosh, recommend.
There's been recommend what we dress as.
No,
right?
recommend if your city has a really good Renaissance fair.
Oh, good idea. We might come incognito.
We might go, yeah.
And then be like, so this person recommended, please recommend good Renaissance fairs.
Yeah, if your city has a really nice one.
I've seen these TikToks. I don't think I said it to you, but it's like friends at a Ren fair. It's like, hi, I'm Name and I'm dressed as this at the Ren fair and this is my first drink. And then it's them like right after, it's like, hi, this is my last drink of the day.
I've seen those style of videos, not the Ren Fair one.
Yeah. But they have these like big tank cards. I love seeing people just like dressed as satyrs or like Pan. Oh, I love it.
Ooh. What would you want to dress up as?
Oh, slutty tavern maid. Like when I say slutty, I really do mean like wenchy.
She's a bar wench. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah. I mean, like I want. So in the real life, I don't like to wear bras a lot. Like you know, I you know this.
I do, but you're just telling everybody.
I've told that everybody before.
Oh,
they know.
okay.
I only have a few like perky breast years left. They're not gonna get any perkier, man. Like this is it from now on. Like gravity is just doing what it does.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah. So, but I would wear like I would want them pushed up to my neck for Ren Fair.
I yeah.
would. I would go fully out. I would get the corset. I would
It would
get
look
the
like a
breast,
shelf.
like Yeah. Even though naturally, like I'm nowhere near there, you know, like they're I only have a few good breast years left.
Okay.
I think I maybe already passed my breast
I've
years,
seen,
but
you know, everybody has seen your second outfit, Matara. Like, come on. You don't have to act, oh, wow, you're acting humble for the first time in your life ever. Like, what is this? Come on.
you know, it's just genetics, you know. I just you know, I can't take responsibility for my great genetics. I'm not the one who gave me these great genetics.
Right.
What about you? What are you gonna wear?
Do you know Old Greg?
Show me.
I'm Old Greg. Okay, I would want to wear something like that. Like, but not, you know, I would just kind of want to be like maybe a swamp monster. Just some sort of like, just some kind of. What is that reaction?
No. When you said swamp monsters, I want to show you this like really famous Russian swamp monster.
Oh, I want to know.
Called Vodяной, which means like of the water. And he's like, some people draw him as a big frog. Other people draw him a little bit differently.
That's Old Greg.
Or Bolotnik, which is like from the swamp, because Bolota is a swamp. So you'll have Bolotnik. Oh, sorry. Who is that?
That's Old Greg.
Craig or Greg?
Greg.
Cute.
Not really. But I just kind of want to go as like a goblin. Maybe more like Smeagol.
You should. You already have the height.
Hey. Smeagol's like hunched over. He's like really like, you know, it doesn't matter about your height. You just got to be like all hunched and, you know.
Well, that's the good thing. You don't even have to hunch. You just put a little like, you just like put a little hunch like in your jacket and you just walk normal and people are going to think you're hunching.
This is so rude. I want to go in like some crazy prosthetics.
I'm sorry. You're very tall.
Yeah.
You're so tall.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for being rude. You're so tall.
Editor, make me taller this episode than Matara. Make her small. Actually, you should be in chibi the whole time. And I'll be.
I'm not wearing the chibi outfit today, but next time. Oh, that is so funny. I think you'd look great like that.
You think so?
Yeah. You know who else I could maybe do that I would love to? I would just love to dress like a wizard. Long wizard hat, long wizard robe, and like a fake beard. I would love that. I think it's like kind of funny. Yeah, that could be me. Right?
Yeah, that could be you. Just like a.
Now I don't want to be a sexy wench. Now I want to be Merlin.
No, I was gonna say be sexy Merlin. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Oh my god! I would still have the beard, and the beard would go like into my cleavage.
You know how like there's those Halloween costume, that one company that sexifies everything.
Yes.
That's what you gotta do.
Let me look up sexy Merlin.
Oh, there's definitely 100% a sexy Merlin. He's probably got fishnets and thigh-high boots and a short little skirt, and his beard is long and luscious.
But the first thing that came up, it's because 7 Deadly Sins. That's why. 7 Deadly Sins has a Merlin.
I
I think it was
anime girl.
It's because sexy Merlin the wizard. There's my god, I love it.
I'm imagining like that one sexy SpongeBob costume.
Show me.
Hold on.
Because these are not that sexy.
No,
not that. Listen, sexy is a state of mind.
True.
But yeah,
hold on. I'm gonna.
You're right though. Sexy Merlin,
like this.
Would be
oh my god!
amazing.
Here we go. This. Oh, I can't type. There we go.
Yes, I've seen the SpongeBob. Being hung. I like that. That is hot.
I was mixing the Patrick and the SpongeBob together. Like this.
Ooh,
with the fishnets and the boots, and
then
you got like your little robe and your wizard hat.
God, I'll even buy a bra for this.
Oh my God, big news, big deal,
big news, and like I'm gonna get it with like haven't bought one in years, but I will buy one for the Ren Fair, and like really,
that's
God,
big
that would
news.
Be great.
She's gonna be a sexy wizard.
News. Or a sexy bar wench,
that
which like is a given.
I think the bar wench would fit the atmosphere. I feel like people would be like, "Oh my gosh, she's just a sexy wizard. She didn't even try to like. What are her stats even? I feel like they would be offended. People would.
No,
you think?
I think from what I heard, people at the Ren Fair are some of the coolest, most easygoing
really?
like people out there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I can go as Smeagol.
You should.
Goblin.
You should.
Renaissance Fair. I want to know if other people going as goblins too.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go as a goblin.
Oh wait, are goblins an appropriate look? I've seen orcs and goblins at local Ren fairs. Oh.
Wait, there's like a Reddit thread about it.
Yeah. There's like our Ren Fair here.
Oh. Our Ren Fair.
Somebody went as Viking Santa Claus. Okay.
Oh my God, I see it. So awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then, I'll figure.
Live your best life.
We don't even know if we're going yet. We'll plan. Once.
Please let us know if you have really cool Ren fairs. It doesn't have to be this summer. We can always go in the autumn as well.
Yeah.
We can just take a trip together.
Yeah.
I would love that. Oh my goodness.
If yours is really awesome. I see one in Kansas. No, sorry, Arkansas.
I love Arkansas. I've only been to Little Rock once. I went to the museum where they talked about Billiam Clinton because he's like the only really famous person from Arkansas.
Who's that?
He was born in Hope, Arkansas. Bill Clinton.
Oh.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Billiam.
Billiam Clinton.
Oh. Okay.
And then I remember I like walked through all of Little Rock, Arkansas, and like half a day. And then I was at the bar at 1 p.m. drinking because there was nothing else to do.
That sounds like a time.
It was a time.
Yeah.
It was many years ago. I took a trip and I went from East Coast United States all the way down. I flew from San Antonio to San Diego, went all the way up.
You were so world
and then
traveled.
From Kelowna. Flew. Yeah, I've been around, as the children say.
Wow. You know what's also a world travel?
What?
Japan.
Oh, amazing segue. I applaud you.
Yippee! So guys, we're talking about Japan today. That's what we got a lot of questions from people.
Yeah, we did.
We're going to talk about our experiences, our suggestions, our advice, and this is a part 1 because we will be going back to Japan. Am I allowed to say?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be going back to Japan in June.
June.
And we'll have a part 2 explaining, if you had any further questions, our stories from our trip, and yeah.
Also, on a completely slight pre-related note, here's a replica of Bill Clinton's office that I took. A photo of a replica of Bill Clinton's office.
Why are we still talking about it?
But yeah, let's talk about Japan. So the way the Japan episode is going to be, we figured a lot of you have come up to us with questions about Japan or what to do in Japan, what not to do. We just want to preface this by saying this is very much a beginner's guide to Japan. Maybe in the future, if you really like this episode and you want us to go more in depth, we could. But, a lot of people maybe discovered anime around COVID times. Maybe you haven't been to Japan yet. Maybe you're just getting to a place in your life where you feel comfortable traveling.
Yeah.
We're here to help.
Yeah. As two
to the
anime
best of our
girls.
abilities. Yeah. We are as two anime girls who have been to Japan.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are basically the pros.
When was the first time you went to Japan?
Okay. The first time I went to Japan, hold on. I need to get the year correct. 2013. I went in February 2013 was my first time. What about you?
Mine was, I don't remember the exact month, but it was 2011.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
And how many times have you been to Japan since? What was that little noise you made?
Many a time.
All right, because you would sometimes go twice a year. That's right.
Yeah, I've been many times.
Okay, wait. Like last year you went to Japan 3 times?
I don't think it was 3. I
think it was 2.
I don't remember.
Yeah. I've only been to Japan twice after this and also in February. I like to go around February because it's my birthday. Love it. So I've been 3 times since 2011. And you have been, since 2013. You've been in 2011 and you've been going a lot. And this year, so this is going to be my first year where I'm going to Japan twice in 1 year. Ooh. And I'm going to be going in summer, which I've heard it gets really hot, really humid. I've heard crazy stuff about that.
Yes, it is extremely hot, extremely humid. It's, I actually don't, as a ghost, I kind of keep on the cool side, so I don't mind it so much. You'd think that I'd be dripping ectoplasm everywhere, but it's actually not so bad for me.
I wanted to ask for Japan because I think it's kind of important. How much Japanese did you know when you first went to Japan?
At that point I had taken Japanese a couple years in school. Okay. So I was all right. I can't say I was so great because my class, it's hard to say. The class kind of moved a little slowly. So, but I stayed with the family, and I got to go to school, and it was good. It was about a half a year that I stayed there, and I didn't know. Yeah, so I think because I stayed with my family, it was easier. Because obviously they were taking care of me way more. But in school, obviously, I didn't have anyone. But I was okay. It worked out, kind of.
So you went in 2011 and stayed with the host family?
With my family, yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. Because we definitely want to talk about accommodation and stuff like that later.
Yeah.
When I went in 2013, I knew no Japanese. I obviously knew how to say sumimasen, wakarimasen, which is I don't understand. I wrote down a few things in a notebook that I kept bringing with me. And back then, we actually talked about this a little bit. The Wi-Fi situation was not great in Japan. You could get a pocket Wi-Fi, but it wasn't nearly as good as it is now. And back then, I would go to Starbucks 3 times a day just to get on the Wi-Fi.
Oh, wow.
Because there was just no Wi-Fi around anywhere. It is completely different now in Japan. You can get eSIMs, you can get pocket Wi-Fis. It's way easier.
So
and
easy.
There's Wi-Fi everywhere. Also, a lot more menus are there's first of all English menus in a lot of places. A lot more people speak English. It feels like, because my second time I came back to Japan, I think was 10 years later. And it was so much easier to navigate with my same amount of Japanese.
Right? Well, it's like, I definitely, like any big tourist spot is going to be pretty easy for English speakers to navigate.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more. I had gone again several years later. I don't remember the exact date or the exact year, but I do remember like it was before like Wi-Fi and like I had an international plan, but it was like back when it was like 2G LTE or whatever.
It was awful. Yeah, it was slow. It wasn't good.
Yeah, so like using Google Maps was like still very impossible, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, how I don't even think about it. Thinking about it now, I'm like, how did I get around? Like, it was so.
Another thing about Japan that people maybe don't really realize, if you grew up in a North American or a European city where you're used to all the street signs being in your language or at least in English, and in Japan, and I know this is going to sound crazy when I say this, people are going to be like, of course, Mata, we get it. Everything is in Japanese, which is like, oh yeah, obviously. No. Like, usually if you're used to North America, you'll see like a store, right? It might have 2 floors, and on one floor it'll say, I don't know, tanning, and on the other floor it'll say gym. But there, you're going to have these like 10-floor buildings.
Oh yeah.
With each little floor being a little business, and it just has something that it says.
Yep.
And sometimes in your Google Maps, they'll say the name in English, but then they'll have the name in Japanese on the, and you just, good luck.
See, I've never.
Good luck.
I mean, maybe because my Japanese is to a point where like that doesn't affect me, but it is a good point to note that like because Japan has to build up, there's so many buildings and so many stores that you could miss if you just don't look up. Like if you're just like, oh, I'm just going to stay in the stores that are on the ground floor, like that's crazy to me because there's like so many things that are just interesting up and above as well. How, I guess.
I would also, you guess what?
No, I was just going back to your point like that. With the signs, like I never thought about like, because if I'm like,
it's overwhelming.
Yeah, for someone who doesn't speak a lot of Japanese, I can get it. Yeah,
it's overwhelming too because you'll have the name in English in your app, or it'll say it's open, and then you come up and you just don't understand where it is because it's just written in Japanese. You don't know what anything is. If you try to ask somebody, hey, do you know where this place is?
Oh no,
I had that so many times before where I would ask people, hey, do you know where this is? And we just can't find it at all. Another thing in Japan too, I personally find it really hard with the street.
I was just about to ask
everything. It's so tough for me. The way that I know how to get places is I just need to remember how to get there. That's it.
No, me too. Because I actually don't even know where street signs are. So in Japan,
you could never find them.
In Japan, it's not like, okay, turn right onto Tokyo Boulevard. Like there's not like anything like that. It's called like, there's it's like ichome, like nichome, sanchome, and like it's like ichi no san no ni is how you like say it, and you're just like, what? Like everything is by numbers, and I don't even know where you could see that. Like I'm like, where am I going?
Me neither. I have no idea.
So if I'm looking for a place, I will just like I will hold up my phone that has like, okay, I'm walking here, and
I'm walking
and I
here.
just walk with my like phone in hand, and I like follow from there.
I am not proud to say, even with my phone in hand, I usually don't really know where to go. There's been times where I've approached people, asked them where something is. They were in front of it with me, and they couldn't find the place either.
You're so
It
brave.
happens so much to Japan. Oh yeah, you know me. It happens so much in Japan where, like, I asked the person, they both are looking around with me. They also don't find it. How?
Do you?
Even Japanese people get lost in Japan, so please don't feel bad if you get lost.
Do you ever have the issue where you ask someone for directions and they say, "Sorry, I don't speak English," even though you're speaking Japanese sometimes? Or do you ask in Japanese or?
Not anymore. Maybe I had that problem 10 plus years ago, but I don't remember because it was so long ago. My last 2 trips, I was with people who knew a little bit of Japanese, and not anymore. I don't really have that problem.
That's good. Because even once I asked a police officer for help in Japanese, I was like, I was looking for my hotel. I was just like, do you know where this hotel? Yeah. And I asked in Japanese and he was like, sorry, I don't speak English. And then walked away. And I was like,
that's funny.
yeah. It was so frustrating at the time.
I think it's also maybe he assumed that, your Japanese was beginner.
Maybe.
So he was just like, I am not getting involved.
Maybe.
This is too much trouble for me.
He's a police officer. He's supposed to help me.
You're right. It is his duty. He failed you. I think it's his duty actually to protect the citizens of Japan. So
he was some old geezer. Even who was he protecting?
Not you, because you weren't a citizen of Japan. He didn't do anything wrong.
I had a big heavy suitcase. I was just looking for my hotel.
You found it in the end, right?
Oh yeah, obviously.
I was also wondering if you wanted to share a few photos, and me too. We'll see where we're gonna put them in the video, because I have some old photos, especially when we talk about scenes or views or food or anything
honest,
like that.
I couldn't find any of my old photos.
Are you kidding me?
I think they're long gone on a computer that broke. So
oh, well, lucky for you guys, I have these photos from 2013 that I took on a BlackBerry phone, and they look like photos from 2013 BlackBerry phone. Just get ready for it. It's a lot of walking. It's a lot of houses.
Let's go.
We both together got a few questions that you asked us in our comments.
Oh, yes.
And I figured that if we maybe start by answering some questions, we could kind of go into tangents and talk about other stuff while we answer questions.
Yeah, sounds good.
So I guess, hold on, let me put these questions about Japan in the bottom so that we can go back to them. Okay?
Managing the dock. Okay.
Would you like to start with...
I will start with the first question from Knowing Block on YouTube. Thank you. What are some tourist locations that are a required location to go to? I'm guessing they mean a must go. If you go to Japan, you gotta go to this place.
Also, let's preface, I guess, we are mainly going to talk about Tokyo today.
Yeah.
I do think if you go to Japan for a long time, you could obviously go to Osaka, Kyoto, Kobe. There's a bunch of places. Okinawa, Hokkaido. You can do a whole extra thing talking about Okinawa and Hokkaido. But to start, we're going to mainly talk about Tokyo. There's so much to do in Tokyo, and unless you're going for a month plus, most people will only be traveling for a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, true.
We recommend Tokyo and maybe some day trips from Tokyo.
Yeah, Tokyo there's so much to do that especially with people who will sometimes plan itineraries going to Osaka one day, Kyoto one day.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard, and
you get so tired.
It's very exhausting. I don't think people realize there's also so much to do in Osaka. There's also so much to do in Kyoto. There's not going to be enough proper time to check out so much in such a short amount of time. So,
I have seen videos of people being like, your 1 week itinerary. And it's they're staying in Tokyo, and then every day it's from 6 a.m. to midnight. And then they're also going to Osaka, and then they're going somewhere else. I'm like, you are doing all that in a week. And I think something that I've learned as I've gotten older, as I travel, is sometimes it's nice to have half a day of just lounging. You want to go to the local coffee shop, grab a coffee, maybe get on your phone, maybe just kind of catch up with friends, or maybe you want to order food and stay in. You'll get tired. It's also something about Japan. I'm an extrovert, but I get incredibly overwhelmed in Japan because it is
very overstimulating.
Busy.
Yeah.
It's lights everywhere. So many more people that I'm ever used to. It's hot. It's usually more humid than what I'm used to. It's a different kind of, rules in that country than in a country where I'm from. So I'm always kind of hyper vigilant. I hope I don't look like, a stupid foreigner breaking the rules. And that kind of puts a little mental strain. Every time I'm going somewhere, I have to rehearse my little text I'm going to say. So just be mindful that you will get tired.
It took me a long time
and physically
of traveling there for me to be okay, every day I like, even still now, I think like I don't want to just lounge in my hotel room because I know I came to Japan. Like I want to go out and see things. But at the same time, like, yes, it's good to just like, it took me a long time to realize like maybe sometimes part of the doing something is like going and relaxing at a park or going to a cafe and just kind of chilling and like people watching for a little bit, you know, like you don't have to be doing like something active 24/7 to get the most out of your experience, you know, like sometimes just kind of sitting down and appreciating the small little like aspects of Japanese life can be really fulfilling too.
I agree. So with that,
yes,
what are some tourist locations that are required to go to in Tokyo?
In Tokyo, I think everybody knows the first thing I'm going to say. It's Akihabara.
Say it. Yeah.
Of course, Akihabara, my beloved otaku city. You know, you can Akiba is interesting because you can spend as much or as little time as you want there. Like, there's so many anime stores if you're looking for like some used figures. If you're looking for idol merch,
I really recommend those used stores. Like they can have some treasures.
They can, and there's just so much to see. It's really a lot to. The way I describe Akiba is like there's so many shops like that, but then there's also so many like cafes. So if you're just kind of like not sure what to do, like, you know, going to eat in Akiba is fun. Shopping is fun. I just like that whole atmosphere of the place. Especially like, I don't know, early in the morning is my favorite time to go. So
really, I don't think I've ever been there early in the morning.
Yeah. Just kind of, I don't know, like it's because it's before like a bunch of like the tourists come in, and so like it's a little less crowded and just I don't know, it just feels nice to just kind of walk around. I always walk around up and down the street. Get my steps in.
I'm gonna go with like a really, really basic one that I know if you've ever watched a Japanese movie, if you've ever done anything like that, Shibuya Crossing. You've seen it in anime now. Listen, it's just a big crossing.
That's it.
Yes. But you should go there. And may I recommend go there on the way to maybe Shibuya 109, which is a huge department store, tons of shopping there.
For
maybe
girls.
go there on the way but you know, whatever.
It's still fun
for
to see.
people who like girly things. How about that? And there's also, for example, there's a music store at Shibuya that usually has, last time I went, they had Suisei's album there. And it was like a huge display, things like that.
Tower Records.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I just really recommend you do go to Shibuya Crossing, but just know that you're going there on the way maybe to something else.
I mean, Shibuya has so much.
I love there for people watching. I really, really love there.
Yes. There's like a cafe. I don't remember if it's a Starbucks or what, but I think it's I don't remember, but it's a cafe that has a giant window facing Shibuya Crossing. So if you manage to grab
I think you're
a
talking,
seat,
there was like the Starbucks upstairs.
It is one. It is a Starbucks.
It was the
Okay.
Starbucks upstairs. Yeah. You'll find it. But just be warned, it's always packed.
It is.
So try to get there very early.
That's what I was going to say.
Very
If
late.
you can manage to get a seat on that window, then it's nice. But there's also a fun people watching spot from Shibuya 109. It's in the cafe. It's one of the top floors is it's called like Hachimitsu something. It's like honey something. Hachimitsu something. I can't remember. But it's a little cafe, and they also have a similar window that looks down upon a smaller, it's albeit smaller, but it is a Shibuya Crossing style area that you can like kind of look down on and eat from that window as well. And they have yummy like omurice and stuff.
There you go. I have another one or do you want to go?
No, go ahead.
So again, while we're still staying with the whole super touristy Harajuku, now hold on, let me explain.
Yeah.
You have to go there. You just have to see what it's like. You have to look at it. May I recommend, actually, maybe one time you should go on a weekend just for the fun of it. Have fun. Go on a weekend.
Have fun.
But for me personally, first of all, I almost never go to Harajuku anymore just because I've been a million times. I still think it's something that as a tourist you should experience.
I think I went to Harajuku the most my last trip, to be honest.
No.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we're going to talk about it later, group trips. When people wanted to go to Harajuku, I'm like, you guys go? I'll meet up with you later.
Oh.
It's just so packed. It does have cute cafes. It does have nice stuff. It has a lot of those pet cafes.
Oh, yeah.
When I was with Onigiri this winter in Japan, we went to a little hedgehog cafe. I'll post a photo. And it's just, it gets really busy. I get very overwhelmed. It's impossible to cross. I do think if you want to experience on a weekend, go ahead. But may I recommend next time you go on like a Tuesday morning?
Yeah. I think you're thinking mostly of Takeshita Dori, which is like...
Yeah, Takeshita Dori in Harajuku.
The main
again.
street of like, with all like, you know, when you think quintessential Harajuku, like that's that kind of, that's...
But you have to experience it, right?
I typically...
those are the must-go places in my mind when I think about it.
I went to La Forêt like a million times. I love
it. Harajuku La Forêt.
Yes, I love Japanese fashion and fashion in general. So I would go so often to be like, okay, does my favorite brand have something new? Or just kind of like looking around, because when I was there, a lot of stores were having renewals. So they were like opening up and everything. But also, if you're facing La Forêt and you turn around, like you're facing the La Forêt building and you turn around and there's like a big main street, and then you'll see like a Kura Sushi, and you'll see like, if you...
I know what you're going to say then. Vivian Westwood.
No.
God damn it.
No, what I was going to say is a little bit down that street, at night sometimes you can meet Tokyo Fashion if you are into... There's like an Instagram and TikTok, and I've been following them for so many years, but...
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, that's where they take pictures. So I've talked with them a couple times. And they're super duper nice. And if you're really into like sub fashion and you want to meet some other people also into like Japanese sub fashion and stuff, that's a great little spot to, I don't know if they stand in front of the Vivian Westwood. I can't remember what.
Yeah, usually that's why. So there is a big Vivian Westwood store for my Nana lovers. And usually they'll like walk from the Vivian Westwood store, like down that street. They won't go like down on Takeshita Dori, but sometimes if you're on Takeshita, it was a lot of like that, like Harajuku sub, like fashion was also really big, but that was more like 10, 15 years ago or so. Now it's more so on that other street, like you said.
No, I mean like, they stand in front of the Marc Jacobs. It's like, no, have you never seen the, hold on, let me pull up their Instagram.
No, I know what you're talking about. It's like street style photography.
Yeah. Yeah, they have like the specific page that they run.
It's like on Facebook, it's on Instagram, it's on TikTok.
Yeah.
While you're in that area, it's also really nice to just go to Yoyogi, which is right nearby. It's a big park. It has a great shrine. I'm going to have some pictures. And sometimes, I don't know if they still do it, but there was a lot of these like rockabilly and like Elvis cosplayers kind of.
Oh,
But it's like
seen
older
them.
people,
Yes.
you know? I think the thing that they're cosplaying is called like rockabilly, if I'm correct.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Rockabilly.
And it's like kind of, when I say cosplayers, they're kind of people in their like 40s, 50s. And it's really cool to see just, it's awesome. It's really cool.
Yeah, Yoyogi's nice. I like that area.
Also, since we're talking about fashion and it's very close, near Shibuya and Yoyogi and, because Shibuya, Yoyogi, Harajuku are all very close, and also very close to them is Shimokitazawa, which used to be a really huge thrifting neighborhood.
It still
but
is,
now
I
I will say
bit.
it is, but it's like it's gotten really expensive.
Yeah.
Because now like it's gotten so popular, like, but it's a really, really great place to people watch, to walk around. It's got some great pubs.
And
it's got some really nice stuff.
Bocchi the Rock pilgrimage area. That's where Bocchi the Rock takes place. So I know the place that like is actually based off of, or not based, the place that they based the theater off of. They don't really like people taking pictures, so just kind of be respectful if you go. Don't crowd around it or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's so much of a problem anymore because, you know, the hype has died down a little bit, but they used to have signs up like, please don't crowd around.
Do not.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I also think like going to Tokyo Tower makes sense. Like there's a lot of restaurants you can be at where you see Tokyo Tower from there. It's just nice. It's there are some stuff that are this is a very tourist thing to do, but you should do it.
Yeah,
Why
but
not?
they asked for
You're a
tourist
tourist.
locations. So these are tourist things. I really love Tokyo Skytree.
That was another one.
Yeah, I like Skytree. I don't think the top floor is really worth it. Like the top floor. But the main, like the initial floor is like, there's a little cafe up there. It's cute. And, I really, you can see Mount Fuji from it on a really clear day. So
What is that? What is that like place where everybody goes with the shrine? Asakusa?
yeah. Wait, now I can't.
Right? I'm getting confused myself. Okay, I'm gonna Asakusa Shrine.
Yes, Asakusa.
Yeah.
There we go.
Asakusa. There we go.
Asakusa, yeah.
Sorry, I say it so Russian. Asakusa.
No, it's okay. Asakusa. Yeah.
Obviously, like it's a very crowded shrine. So the thing with Japan is you will be walking around little streets, and there's going to be sometimes a small shrine or a small temple, things like that. It's very anime, which those are always great to go to. You will have the same experience as the big shrines, but Asakusa is a very popular one. Yeah. Everybody goes there.
Much
around
bigger.
it. There's
it is like then some of the typical shrines you'll see just on the side of the road, but like
it's huge.
It is really,
and
really
you have
big.
a whole street where you walk there. There's like a whole street where it's kind of like one of those outdoor shopping malls.
Yeah.
Where it has a roof, but it's still fully open.
Yeah, it is cool to go walk down and like see. It kind of feels like a little festival at all times of the year. So
all the time.
Yeah, but it is a very big tourist spot, so it's quite crowded. Yeah. There's one spot. Actually, I love the area around Tokyo Dome. It's called Tokyo Dome City. And it's has like a mini theme park with one of the like most fun.
We have to go.
Yeah, it has the path. Like when I went last time, the roller coaster was down, but the roller coaster is so much fun. And there's a lot of shopping in there. There's like a haunted house. There's restaurants, and there's also a spa. Like it's called La Croix. It's like an onsen area. Yeah. So
you just reminded me of another place. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say, maybe some people like don't think about it because it's like Tokyo Dome is like, you're going for either baseball or a concert or whatever, but the area around it is really cute. There's also there's like a whole little what's the word? Like a mini amusement park. It's so cute.
I want to try it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was like either Electric or Sunshine City. It has like a Pokemon Center.
Oh yeah, Sunshine City.
A lot of people, Sunshine City, there we go. A lot of people say it's kind of like Akihabara, but if you're kind of more into it's for the girlies, like if you're into your BL and into that kind of stuff. Otome, yeah. It has the Swallowtail Butler Cafe, things like that. That's also a really good place to go. Again, thrifting or all that stuff.
Sunshine City and Ikebukuro.
Ikebukuro, there we go. Yeah. Thank you. Because I was like, what is it? And I know there's a Pokemon Center there.
Yeah,
it's really fun. I stayed there one time when I came.
Oh, really?
I really enjoyed staying there. Oh yeah, I loved it. The morning walk through, I loved it so much. One of my fave spots to stay in.
The only thing about that area is I try to avoid it at night because
Really?
Maybe if I'm with people, but every time I've gone has been by myself, and they are nonstop. Even in the train station, like people were trying to stop me, being like, "Hey, you want to hang out? You want to go get a drink?" And I was just like, "Okay." Like it was they're aggressive there. I think because so many because it's like kind of like a girly hotspot.
A girly,
yeah. But so just
I was always in a group, so maybe that's why I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. I was always in a group. Otherwise, this, again, obviously, please, Tokyo is a very safe city, but still you should do your research. Yeah. Any area at night in any big city ever can always be a little bit dangerous. But I've had locals warn me to just be a little bit careful around Shinjuku at night because that's kind of like where there's a lot of bars, there's a lot of stuff like that. Just be mindful,
I don't go.
Yeah, just be a little careful.
I used to go for Idol Lives. There was a big theater in Kabukicho that I would go to.
Which Kabukicho is.
And without fail, I would be followed every time. And so now if an idol group has a show there, it's because usually idol shows are at night too. I just don't go. I just avoid that area because also like, for me, I'm not a huge party person. There's like a lot of host clubs and things like that. It's not really my scene, so I can't really recommend. I can't recommend anything there because I don't know much there because I don't go.
But it's just like any big city. Like in any big city, you should kind of watch out. Like anywhere that there's too much nightlife, anything like that. Like just be a little careful. It's like that everywhere. It's not just a Japan thing. And Japan is one of the safest places I've ever been to.
Oh yeah, I have a question because I'm mostly a solo traveler. Like if I am doing something, I'm going by myself like 90% of the time. How about you? Do you prefer, or do you like or do you mostly solo travel, and which do you prefer?
I usually solo travel or small group travel. I like being in a small group and to split up. I really do like traveling with other people, but then because I like the idea of like all of us having a big breakfast or a big dinner together.
That's fun.
And I really love it if we're traveling and then let's say you're like, oh, I'm going to go there and I go do something else. And then at night we meet up maybe with another casual like friend of ours, right? I really like that. I feel like even though I'm very independent, it's really nice to, because there's only so many memories that you make by yourself. One of my favorite things, one of the things that gives me the best memories is it wasn't just, oh, we went on a trip. It was like you and I were at a restaurant at night having a conversation after having a good day.
Okay,
you know,
that's fair.
That kind of solidifies it for me. For you, you said all solo.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's fair. Well, I think for me, it's just I'm such a conversation over wine person. Dinner person, I love to talk.
Oh, I know.
So that's
why
I
here.
think that's why to me you're like, I know you summoned me. Which is actually another thing I wrote down later to talk about, but we can maybe bring it up now.
Yeah, I think.
Traveling in a big group versus traveling in a small group.
Yeah,
now I'm jumping around the script.
No, I think we kind of naturally fell into it because, I asked the question whether you like traveling in a group or solo. And, for me, I'm an introvert. I'm very picky about what I like to do. I'm into things that not everyone's into. So for me, solo traveling even as I'm a ghost, but I'm still a girl. So for me, I've never had so many issues like in Japan at least, so I've always, or not always, but I've usually felt like very okay like traveling by myself. So don't feel like you have to go with someone or in a huge group. I know sometimes maybe some people feel like, oh, if I'm making this huge trip, I got to make it worth it and go with all of my friends and we all have to go together. And I get that completely, but like, don't be afraid to split up and do your own thing. In fact, I urge you to do that. I'm telling you, ditch your friends, leave them, go.
We're gonna give you some advice on how to ditch your friend because I have a few like tried and true strategies.
Oh yeah, because in my experience, like I said earlier, it's good to take a day to rest, or not a day, but like it's good to take some time to rest. But if you are there for just a week and you're wanting to go out, you're wanting to see things, like don't
suck it up, get tired,
I know,
be tired.
Yeah, seriously, like I have gone traveling with people who wanted to stay in their hotel rooms until like 2 p.m. and I'm like, no, what are you doing? We gotta go out. They're like, we could go shopping, we could go to this cafe. Like in Japan, things open kind of late. They open around like 10 or 11 and then 10. They close early. They close like at 7 or 8 for a lot of like main places.
It's true.
So, you don't want to go out at 2 and then you've missed like almost the entire day. You missed half the day. Like, I don't know. What about you, Matara?
I agree. I do have to say though, just most people I think will not be traveling in big groups or alone. I think most people who will travel will probably go with 1 or 2 or maybe 3 friends. Because in your case too, it's easy to travel alone. You speak Japanese. I can travel alone with no Japanese because I am a girl boss.
It's true.
But I think most people will travel in a group to maybe 2 to 3 to 4 people. And if ever, let's say, you went out drinking with your friends. You don't drink much. Next day, they're all hungover. They don't want to go anywhere. Don't stay with them if you don't want to. Just be like, hey, I'm going to be going there. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. And sorry, I just read something that you wrote. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to maybe go grab lunch by myself. Go around and maybe grab breakfast or lunch by yourself.
Yeah.
Walk around. I have so many photos of random parks, random stairs, random places in Japan that I've taken because it's nice to solo walk and kind of take it all in.
You'll find
also.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I know you said like you can travel alone and you're fine. I love solo traveling, but I need to meet friends sometimes because otherwise I do get a bit lonely. I feel like for me, I love sharing memories with other people. And let's say, for example, you maybe you don't have friends that want to go to Japan. Maybe you are fully alone on your trip to Japan. The first time I came to Japan, what I did is I stayed at Airbnbs and I tried to stay. Certain owners, sometimes you'll see they're very open to conversation, especially if you're an alone traveler.
Wait, they're there? They are in your Airbnb?
Sometimes they have like a separate Airbnb, or sometimes because it was like 10 plus years ago, I stayed like in someone's apartment, for example.
Oh.
Yeah. And I can show some photos, but like pretty much the first time I went, with most of my hosts, I hung out with them. Like they wanted to practice their English mainly. So they were like, if you were free for lunch, like we'd love to go for lunch. There's this one family that made me make like temaki with them and things like that. And they took me around Yoyogi Park and they took pictures of me and things like that because I was traveling alone. Another host of mine, because this was around the time that like couch surfing was really popular. And my host had started doing Airbnb because he was like, I want to do Airbnb. Like that way, if you want to hang out with me, cool. If you don't have to because, you paid. But sometimes with couch surfing, the way it worked back then is like people would stay to couch surf, but then you'd want to talk English with them and then they would just kind of leave. So what he did, he organized a big karaoke with a bunch of people that he knew and it was just really fun. So I think if you're going alone, if you kind of try to pick out maybe a hostel.
Hostels,
I think they're called.
Hostel, yeah.
Like a youth hostel, things like that, where, be a little bit more careful with the stuff you bring. People, don't be flashing your Gucci wallets or whatever. But maybe if you are completely alone and you're trying to make friends, try to stay in like youth hostels or Airbnbs that seem to be kind of more focused on. Sometimes they'll even say it. They'll be like, are you traveling alone? Like, let us know. We can go around with you.
Wow,
we can like show you around.
I've never stayed at a hostel or an Airbnb before. So in Japan. So, wow, that's so nice.
Yeah. So you can always make friends and you can always find people to share memories with.
That is true. It's not that I don't get lonely sometimes. Sometimes I'll be like, man, it'd be so nice if I could go to this idol show with a friend or whatever. But it is possible to.
You can invite me.
Yeah,
I'll come with you.
But also, this kind of goes back to how much Japanese do you need to know. It's kind of hard because on the one hand, if you don't know a ton of Japanese and you speak Japanese to some people, they will assume that you know a lot of Japanese and they'll start being and then you're like, wait, I only know konnichiwa. Please, yamete kudasai. But at the same time, don't be afraid to practice your Japanese. Like I've seen videos of people like in their taxi cabs being like, hi, excuse me, it's my first time coming to Japan. Is it okay if I practice some of these phrases with you so that I can better, say them in a real situation? And, sometimes the taxi drivers were like, yeah, of course. Like, let's talk.
Yeah, they're super open to it usually.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to, talk and make mistakes. I have a story about, I think I actually mentioned saying this in the last episode, being like,
I was actually re-listening and I thought to myself, I should remind you about your story.
Okay, so when I was at school, and it was my last day, and I was so sad. I was like crying, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss everybody. And in my brain, like I was so flustered that I kept saying, instead of saying I don't want to go home, instead of saying kairitakunai, like I don't want to go home, I just kept saying Kairanai. Just saying, I'm not going home.
Which
I'm
means
not
what?
going home.
I'm not going home.
Instead of I'm not. And so I feel even now, like I'm taking that test when I was just like, do you think back on a mistake you made years ago and it haunts you? That haunts me because in my brain,
I'm not going home.
I was telling them like, I am not leaving. I am staying here. I am not moving from this spot. And like to them, they probably were like, she's making us silly. But to me, I'm like, oh, it's so embarrassing.
I love it.
I'm not going home.
I'm not going
home. I'm staying.
I'm not going home.
I'm staying in your room.
I would like for us to kind of go through the questions a little bit because I just noticed we've been recording for an hour and a half.
Oh, yes. And I have some stuff. I have some hauntings to do.
You do.
Yes.
Very quickly though, because I actually wrote this down for us to say when we were talking about places, I really recommend that you Google some of your favorite anime and what are kind of the known pilgrimage places. For example, Hida in Gifu Prefecture is a really famous beach area near Kamakura Kokome Station from the Slam Dunk anime.
Oh.
Please look into them. You can make a whole trip around Japan, around all your favorite anime places that you want to go to. Or something for me, for example, there was this anime on Netflix called The Disastrous Life of Psyche K.
Yes.
And he ate so much coffee jelly. So I walked around trying different coffee jellies,
that's
you
so
know?
fun. Actually,
kind of find stuff that you love from anime and do it.
Hida,
Yes.
I've been there before. They have, it's like, everyone talks about Wagyu. They have amazing, like, Hidagyu is so good. It's very good.
Let's go next time.
Yeah. So
Please.
good.
All right, speed round. Have you ladies eaten fugu and or stonefish?
No.
I have. We're going to insert the photo. Last time I was in Japan, my manager, I'm calling them out. One of our JP managers was like, we should order this. And I said no. And he was like, it's for the picture. It's for the Instagram. I have to say, kind of tasteless. Doesn't taste very good.
Really?
It just, I love slimy white fish. It had no taste.
Oh.
That being said, when it was fried, it tasted like chicken.
Oh, really? That doesn't sound so
There's
bad.
so much meat that when you fry it, just tastes like chicken.
Oh, but what? So it's not fishy at all?
No.
Wow.
Would you try puffer fish?
If it were fried, maybe.
Honestly, like there's nothing. You could try it if you want to. There's nothing with it. All right. Next question. What's your favorite maid cafes to go to other than the big two for foreigners, aka At Home and Maid Dreaming?
Okay, my first one is this is hard. Okay,
You want to come? Okay.
I'm gonna say one because if you're looking for a not typical maid cafe experience, if you're looking for something that's very chill, very like, okay, this just feels like a cafe. They don't even have a table charge. It's a cafe, but they wear maid outfits. Go to Jam Akihabara, JAM Jam Akihabara. They are always doing like collaborations with visual novels or
Is that the place? You didn't bring me in. Yeah, that's the place you brought me to.
yeah. Where we were just like,
yeah, it's just like a cafe.
it's super
It was
chill.
really nice.
It's so nice. Super duper recommend it.
And you can stay for a long time.
Yeah. People go there and they just set up shop and work. It's awesome.
Yep.
Can I don't
We can go back to
we'll come
it.
back. Yeah. Next one.
Okay. Have you been to Sapporo's Yuki Matsuri before? It seems exciting with the ice sculptures, but the cold must be harsh. Also, Hokkaido in general as a talking point.
I've never been to Hokkaido.
I have never been to Hokkaido. I would love to go one day. I'm a huge seafood lover, and I know the seafood there is really good between November to like February. Also, I love Azumanga Daioh, and in it, Chio-chan talked about Matsukasa beef and Hokkaido snow crab, and I have to have both.
Oh my God,
Okinawa
that's
is
so
another place
funny.
I would really love to visit, right?
I didn't want to.
But I just haven't had the chance.
I think now that I've been to Antarctica, maybe I'm more prepared for the Yuki Matsuri.
Ooh,
But before,
I would love to go.
Before, I never would have stepped foot during it. You can't catch me in the cold.
Really?
Yeah, my tail, I was gonna say, like my ghost tail will freeze. Essentially, you know, like.
You've been to Antarctica now. You're fine.
Well, maybe now we'll be fine. We'll see.
What's the biggest culture shock for the two of you, respectively? Doesn't have to be the same thing, of course.
I don't know. I think it's hard for me to say because I've gone so many times at this point that I can't remember what the first culture shock thing that I had was.
I have one if you want to think
Yeah,
about
go ahead.
yours. My main one, I already said, it's the fact that everything is truly in Japanese, which doesn't sound as surprising, but there's just no English in most spaces. And everything is so tall and so narrow that you can sometimes be on a street and there is going to be 80 restaurants. And you just are so overwhelmed because there's lights everywhere, there's photos, there's everything. It's just so overwhelming.
Yes.
And another big culture shock is everybody is so well dressed, so neat. Everybody's always in heels.
Yeah.
Everyone's hair is always looking good. Even if you kind of want to be like, I'll just wear sweats today. If you kind of feel like, okay, no, I have to do my makeup. I have to look cute. I have to do my hair every time.
Yeah, if you like before, I never cared so much about that kind of stuff, but then Japan changed me. I threw away my entire wardrobe. I was just like, it's time to get serious about how I look because of Japan. Like it really, like I don't know, you feel like, especially because like as a foreigner, I wanted them to judge me in a good way. You know, like if I'm a foreigner and I look kind of like not dressed up and not looking nice, like I didn't want them to think like, oh, foreigners don't look good. Look at her, she looks so slobby. Like I wanted to.
We've actually talked about this before, where it's like I always act even better. Like, for example, if I'm going there when everyone's wearing masks and I see some Japanese people not wearing it, I'll still wear mine because I don't want anybody to be like, what a stupid foreigner and not respecting
I feel
the
like
rules.
I have to
Even
act,
if others aren't respecting, I feel like I have to act better.
Yeah. I think kind of going back to the like yes, the clothes thing was a huge culture shock for me. Yeah. The other thing is the noise, like going into Don Quixote for the first time.
Oh my God.
It is so crowded. It is so small. Like actually just going into a lot of like small Japanese stores like that, or not, I mean, I don't mean like small as in donkey small, but like it is so narrow. It is so loud. There's advertisements blasting from every which way. There's colors everywhere. It is like in there's a store called Village Vanguard that they actually call the like urusai honya. It's like the annoying bookstore because it's so loud and busy and everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just that kind of like, you know, when you're just like not expecting the noise everywhere, it is a big culture shock. Yeah.
What time of year would you suggest for a first trip?
Ooh. I would say autumn. Because I think spring, you might have allergies that you might not know about because I remember one time I went in spring and I discovered allergies that I never knew that I had. And like, I was so sick for like a week.
And good luck going to the hospital and talking about that.
Well,
over there.
there are actually a lot of good doctors that will like, and it's inexpensive. I didn't have insurance. And there are doctors that will speak English, but obviously you don't want to be sick for that amount of time.
And if you are going in spring and it is the sakura or the cherry blossom season, it can get really expensive.
Yes.
Everything will be booked. Everybody goes during that time. Super expensive.
Exactly. So, and then there's also a lot more people that are coming. So, you know, spring sounds nice ideally, but it is going to be more crowded. It's going to be stuff like that. That's why I think autumn, you get that nice cool weather, but a little bit less of the crowds and things like that.
I'm going to talk about the other two seasons then. So for summer, I've never been in the summer, but I have had friends who went in August and they said it was so humid, so wet. I know typically people have summers off, but maybe if you want to come in the summer, try to maybe come closer to maybe the start of June or like the end of May or something. Maybe not. No,
it's all
because at the end of August, it's also hot. Really? I just heard in end of August. Like, well, we're gonna be there in June, so we'll know.
Yep, you're going to get the thick of it.
Personally, into the thick of it. Personally, when I went in February the first time, when I stayed at people's houses or Airbnbs, sometimes I felt it was too cold. Because the problem in Japan is like a lot of the houses don't have the same insulation as you do in places that are very cold. So even though it's not that cold in Japan, I would be very cold. But this was 10 years ago. Nowadays, I still really like coming at the end of February. I think end of February, beginning March is a really nice time where it's still a little crisp outside. So you can kind of layer your clothes. It looks good. But then the sun comes out and it's really nice. A lot less people. Not as expensive for the hotels and things like that.
Yeah.
But again, you kind of have to go with your schedule. If you can only come in August, good luck.
Also, if there's something you want to do, like if you're just
Right.
like, I really want to go to a summer festival, obviously you can only do
Yeah.
that in summer. Like you kind of got to figure out what kind of event you want to do. Like I think Halloween in Japan is very fun only because idols put on the best Halloween like idol shows. So for me, that's like a prime time. But obviously that's, some people are wanting to go for other reasons or, Christmas is always going to be very expensive. New Year's is going to be super duper expensive. Like, but if you can afford it and if you want to do it, go for it, go try. It's always fun to try something like that at least once.
How do I survive in Japan without knowing Japanese? Are there any important phrases to know?
We kind of talked about that earlier, but as for phrases,
I can start.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I interrupted
No.
you.
Go ahead.
So I always recommend either write it on your phone or in a book. You need your basics. You need to rehearse what you're saying at the kombini, which is like the not the grocery, at the store. You need to learn what you're going to say. You need to learn. Nowadays with phones, it's really easy. What I'll do before coming to a restaurant, I just Google, do you have space for one person? Do you have an English menu? Sorry, I don't speak Japanese very well.
Yeah.
Just things like that. Just memorize them or write them down in a book. The problem with not writing them down and memorizing them. So my problem lately, what I started doing is I just started Googling it, saying it, and then I forget about it.
Yeah.
But if you actually force yourself to remember a few of these phrases, which way is this? How do I find this? But again, now that we have SIM cards, eSIM cards, and portable Wi-Fi, it's way easier. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
I think two important phrases could be "daijoubu desu" and
It's okay.
"onegai shimasu." So
Please.
yeah, so it's kind of just like, if someone asks you for something and you're just like, daijoubu desu. Oh, I'm okay, I'm good. If someone asks you something, onegai shimasu, like, oh yes, please do it for me. Yes, please do this. Like those like can get you so many.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
If someone asks, like, I don't know, do you want this in a bag? Onegai shimasu. Super duper useful phrase.
Yeah, I think I use daijoubu all the time.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's like daijoubu. If you make a mistake and somebody says daijoubu, you're like, hi.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's polite. So both words are polite. So yeah.
We've also gotten a lot of questions that I feel are super personal. Like, for example, people were saying how much money to bring. Again, calculate what you want to do. Some people, maybe they want to stay, $15, $20 a night at a hostel. Somebody else wants to stay at the Park Hyatt, which was like the movie Lost in Translation, right?
Really?
Yeah. Are you going to be taking Ubers or using trains?
Yeah.
Are you going to be eating at really expensive restaurants? That being said, in Japan, in Tokyo, food is so good. You do not need to go to the most expensive restaurants.
No, you really don't. And it's inexpensive. So many places, it's like very affordable to eat, I would say.
Also for shopping, I would say there's Book Off, Animate. A lot of places have secondhand. Even the Book Offs and the Animates have secondhand stuff. You do not need to buy new stuff there all the time. There's secondhand clothes, which are really good. Basically, try to look through those as well. There's Pokemon centers, collaboration cafes, maid cafes, hedgehog cafes, any kind of cafe you ever dreamed of in your life. It exists.
Con cafes are very expensive though. So if you plan on doing a lot of those, the concept cafes, they're quite expensive. Maid cafes, expensive. Like hedgehog cafes.
But it's the experience,
yeah, of
right?
course, it's the experience. But, just take that into consideration for your budgeting.
You wrote this down and it was really interesting about allergies. So we got a lot of questions about allergies and medication. And again, we really recommend that you do your own research with other YouTube channels because we both don't really have many allergies. We don't take much medication. But if somebody else had this experience, you might find it very helpful.
Yeah.
Maybe you can look up what medicine are you allowed to bring.
Yeah, I wrote that down
Right?
because the first time I went to Japan, I was on a certain medicine and I wasn't sure if I was allowed to bring it. It's not something that I think a lot of maybe it kind of slips your mind because of course if you take something every day like you could or once a week or whatever whenever you have to take it even if it's like my migraine medicine I had to make sure I could bring that stuff like that so if it's something that you can get very easily or you take all the time, and you're just like, oh yeah, I need this, but just be sure to research what kind of medicines you're allowed to bring into the country, because you don't want to get in trouble and get deported and on a blacklist.
Same thing with your diet, right? We're not vegan and we're not vegetarian, but if you are vegan, for example, I would sincerely recommend that you maybe look up vegan YouTubers who go to Japan, and they'll have like, what do I eat in Japan? Vegan edition. What restaurants to go to in Japan? Vegan edition. Maybe you don't eat seafood. And unfortunately, a lot of places might have seafood broth or seafood flavoring or things like that. If you have a shellfish allergy, just be really mindful for that kind of stuff. Again, I think when you have this kind of allergies in your life, it's unfortunately on you. And a lot of restaurants, like some restaurants will have 3 dishes.
A lot of
and that's their dishes.
the best
and
places.
they won't be able to change
Sorry,
things.
I'm like talking over here.
It's okay. I think
getting
we're both kind of like,
excited.
oh God, we went over time already. Oh my God, and we still have stuff to talk about. We're sorry.
No, I was gonna say like the best places that I've found for like stuff like that is like Indian restaurants. Like yeah, and I've gone to Japan with like people who are vegan, and I'll be honest, it was tough, like because sometimes it would be like, okay, we're going to a family restaurant again because that's the only place that they were vegetarian. That's the only place that they could eat like the pizza or something like that. And a lot of things are made with like even ramen. You might think you're safe with ramen. Always make sure that it's made with a broth that's not like a pork broth.
Usually it's pork broth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So but there are places that exist. There are places that have like specifically chicken ramen, or if you can't eat pork, or there's places, there's some of those same places also offer vegetarian options. So it's unfortunately we probably aren't the best advice or people to give advice on for it. Yeah, but they do exist. It's just a little bit more difficult.
Now let's do a super rapid fire.
Oh, okay.
Because
I gotta go.
she has to go. But we listen. We're also over time. We didn't realize just how much we love to yap.
Well, this
we
is
love
why
you.
we're
We can
gonna
always
have
do a part 2.
Yeah.
Yep. One of my tips for the subway system that actually struck me in the butt this time, if you get a Phasmo card or anything like that, Phasmo, it's a Phasmo, like Phasmophobia.
The spooky
if you get a
card.
Phasmo card, a spooky card, where you can kind of take the train with it and all that stuff, you have to load it with cash. You cannot just load it off of your foreign credit card or your foreign debit card. So you will have to go to either a 7-Eleven, usually that's where people go, and you will use your foreign. Actually, it works with Visa and debit, and you can just withdraw cash and then put it on your card.
You actually wrote Phasmo. Oh my God.
I always call it a Phasmo. I swear to God.
It's the Phasmo.
Like Kizuna AI.
And there's also the Suica Pass, but right now it's hard to get them. So good luck. Good luck, everybody else.
Good luck,
everybody else. No, they have a foreigner one that you can get at the airport. That is good for like a month, I believe. So yeah, if you don't want to buy the tickets every time, you can go get that. I thought you said this was rapid fire questions. What is this?
No, it's like rapid fire, like very basic do's and don'ts.
Oh, okay. Basic do's and don'ts. Don't.
I wrote them down if you want to read.
No loud talking. No eating and walking. I don't believe that. I think that's kind of like an old antiquated thing.
Okay, damn. She hit me with that.
No, it's okay. Actually, it's good to bring it up because some people probably think it's like super duper strict, and like people are like, you cannot walk with a water bottle. People will frown on you, and it's just like,
no, that's fine. But I mean, people don't eat in like the subway.
Oh no,
people will not be eating a sandwich in the subway.
Yeah, but it says no eating and walking. So, but yeah, you're right. There's no eating on the subway. That's for sure.
Okay.
General respectfulness of personal space, because it's a lot of people in a tight space. Yeah, except when you're on the morning train.
But again, just be very respectful of other people's space. Try not to take up too much room. If you're going somewhere, don't put your bag on the seat next to you because people will want to sit there.
Yeah.
And again,
for sure.
if you see a Japanese person do it, doesn't mean you should do it because you'll always be judged a little bit harsher.
Be nice and give your seat to the elderly. Sometimes they give you money.
What?
Yeah.
For giving? That's probably because they thought you were a kid.
Sometimes a old lady will be like, "Oh, thank you so much. Here's 1,000 yen."
Okay, she for sure thought you were a kid.
No, it never happened to me. That's what my teacher told me.
The next one, I think we already talked about it. I do have one thing to say. This is a very extroverted thing, but maybe you've had friends that went to Japan. Ask them their recommendations, their spots, what they liked, what they didn't like. That's number one. Number two, this is for like my super extroverts.
Okay.
Ask your friends if they have any friends in Japan.
Oh.
Because my first time that I went in Japan, my best friend met a girl. She met a girl at New York Fashion Week who was in Japan. So my first time I went to Japan, her and I hung out.
Oh, God.
But she had never met me. She met my best friend in New York. Nope.
It's terrifying.
She took me to this amazing restaurant in like Tokyo that like we had a view of Tokyo Tower. It was amazing.
Oh.
And I still kept up with her. I think I still probably have her on my socials somewhere.
Wow. That's so nice.
She was great.
Aww.
Yeah. But I'm aware this is very extroverted.
It is extremely extroverted. But if we did kind of mention this. If you're traveling alone, if you want to meet people, like you said, the hostels, the Airbnb hosts, but also before you go, try and get on some apps like Hello Talk. You know, I know some people that have like met a girl on there. Yeah, some people in my class were just like, "Oh yeah, I met my girlfriend through Hello Talk," and I'm like, "What?" But you know, you can kind of make friends with some people on there, and then maybe meet up once you go to Japan. So.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Love can bloom on the battlefield of Hello Talk.
My favorite
I wrote
battlefield.
down like, check out the hot springs or onsen, popular activities. You could be at an arcade. There's claw machines. There's karaoke. You can have hanami, which is picnic by the water. Although hanami is usually like sightseeing
Hanami is a very specific activity, actually. It's only done during the cherry blossoms. But that doesn't...
Yeah, when you sightsee the cherry blossom. But a picnic by the water.
That's not going to stop you.
You can go to the temples.
Yeah, exactly.
And my big advice for when you're traveling in a big group, just very quickly. Let's say you're traveling in a big group and you tell everybody, "Hey guys, I want to go to the store at 11 a.m. And then the group is just taking a while. I know it's tough, but you just say, "Hey, no worries. I'm going to go do this thing, but I'll meet up with you guys later. I'll write in the group chat." If you just notice, and please take it from me, I have a friend, we went a few years ago on a trip with a lot of people. And on the last day, we did that. And she told me, she's like, "Mata, I should have done this earlier. I spent so much time waiting." Because you know how it is, right? You and your two friends want to do something. And then your third friend wakes up and they're like, "I'm going to wash my hair. Can you wait for me? I'm going to shower." No, you'll meet us there. Don't be afraid to say, "I'll meet you later. Text me when you're done. I'll see you in a bit." Have no fear. I know it's scary, but they will not be offended.
No.
And you don't want to ruin your own trip and start building resentment against your
friends.
That's
what I was saying. Ditch your friends. Go do what you want.
Ditch your friends. Make some new friends.
Time.
Make some new friends. Please let us know if you are going to Japan, what you're going to be doing there, where you want to go. And same thing, if you are watching this and you have maybe some good recommendations for restaurants, things to see, places to go, let us know. For us
when we go
and
together.
Then, next time, again, when we go together again. Well, no, last time we didn't go together. We were just there at the same time.
Yeah. But, give us all your recommendations.
We hope this helped.
And if
we're aware this is a very beginner.
Yeah, if you have something that you that we didn't touch upon and you're still curious about, we will do another episode once we're back with all of our stories and also answering a bit more of your questions. So feel free to ask anything else.
I'm going to have the editor put a bunch of photos here now where it's like, I have gone on so many walks in Japan. Just randomly, you wake up early, everyone's asleep. You go to the konbini, you get a nice coffee, you listen to music or a podcast, and you're just walking. You're admiring the scenery, you're looking around. Everything is just so beautiful. It's so different.
Japan.
Wow, look at that.
Ooh, look at that.
Please have fun with that.
What is that?
Burn your calories so you can have sushi. My toes? No toes.
No toes. I don't know.
No toes.
I don't know what photos are up.
Lastly, thank you so much for watching another episode. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's been super fun.
I wish we could talk longer. I'm so sorry that I have
Me too.
plans.
No, it's actually, we are genuinely almost at 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
So it's also on us. Like, the time passes too quickly
Sorry,
on this
guys.
podcast. Also, remember, hags! Have a great summer!
Have a great summer!
Any last words before we shout out the patrons who support this pod?
I was about to say, here's our patrons. Woo,
it's the patrons! Wow!
There's me. There's me.
Really? I thought you said you're not a patron.
There's me. That's
She's lying. She's lying.
That's me.
Also, remember, we have merch and we also have Patreon. I think that's it. Oh my God. We'll see you next week. Thank you again, patrons. Thank you again, everybody, for watching and hanging out.
Thank you.
If you're still here at the end of the video, we should have like a word.
Beans.
Just like try to add beans into your sentence when you're leaving your comment.
Yes, beans.
Just like put beans randomly, but like don't make it obvious. Don't put it at the end. Don't be like, I love beans. Be like, oh, sometimes my wife Beans and I like to travel.
Beans.
Like just put it randomly.
Oh my God, wife. Oh my God, that's so funny, Matara.
I wish I had a wife Beans.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.